Well, this year's primary beneficiary of the Travelers Championship is the ALS clinic at the Hospital for Special Care in New Britain. Fox 61's Tim Lammers continues our team coverage from Cromwell with one man's journey with the disease. Good morning again, Tim.
Yes, good morning. I have Brian Savo. He is doing wonderfully in his fight against ALS. He is also the co-chair of the tournament this year. We've talked about it a lot this morning, how on Monday, Nathan Grube, the tournament director, was brought to tears by Brian's story and by the story of Jay Fishman from Travelers, who was diagnosed with ALS. You have a very powerful story to tell, and thank you for taking the time to be with us to tell it, really.
Tim,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Just tell us your story from the time you were diagnosed up until now.
Well, in 2008, I started my own business, and I was out on Nantucket at that time. I was walking on the job sites. A gentleman noticed me walking with a limp. Well, turned out I ignored it for that year. Thought it was nothing. Most guys do that.
Yeah.
Getting some muscle cramps. Ignored that too. Being an athlete, football, hockey, lacrosse, I never would have thought that muscle cramps, you would just think it's vitamins, potassium.
Right.
So that's what I concentrated on. Cramps continued to get worse. The limp continued to get worse. I tried my ice skates on. I got a little fatigued in my legs, but at that time I was full of muscle, going to the gym every day. At that time, once that happened, I tried my ice skates on. I was like Bambi on ice, couldn't stand. And that threw some triggers that I needed to get looked at. Besides that, I was going for a life insurance test, and I was leaking creatine out of my legs. Yeah. So at that time, I called my doctor. They sent me to a rheumatologist. Rheumatologist saw my fasciculations jumping all over my body. From there, I went to another neurologist. The neurologist said, did an EMG. You need to go to the Hospital for Special Care. I think you might have ALS. And that's when I made the trip up to the Hospital for Special Care. And you know, obviously, it's a very, very hard thing when you're going in for a routine visit, and to be told that you have 2 to 5 years to live.
That was it. Yeah.
That's tough. You know, it's hard to swallow.
Yeah, you swallowed it though.
I did.
And there's something to be said for saying, I'm not just going to internalize this. I'm going to get the word out for other people. When did that transition happen for you? Was it immediate? Did it happen later?
Well, 2009, my legs really started to give me trouble, but I'm still, still walking. But slowly, since 2009, I've seen my body start to deteriorate. Yeah. At this time now, trying to shake your hand, itching my head, simple day-to-day things, you're now losing your independence. You're counting on your family members. My son, my daughter, my wife, they take my shirts off, help me get dressed. Things that you would think are normal, everyday things that shouldn't be a problem. For an ALS patient, everything becomes a problem.
It's a whole family.
Yeah.
that has
it's very emotional on the patient, trying to digest it and deal with the limitations as they come. And then it's an emotional roller coaster for everybody who's involved, because they're watching you go, and at the same respect, they're serving you. They're your servants at this point. So it's tough for everybody because you feel bad. You're constantly asking for help. It's a double-edged sword, but unfortunately, they love you. You have family, friends, and that's the beauty of it. And even having people I don't know come up to me and help.
That's what this week's about.
Yeah,
that's what the Hospital for Special Care is about. What is that place meant to you? What is being a co-chair of this tournament meant to you?
Well, the Hospital for Special Care, they're my family.
Yeah.
I mean, again, with you're stricken with a disease like that, you need support, you need knowledge, you need people you can count on, so you're comfortable. Yeah. And they were there for me, and they've always been there for me, and they've led the way. I mean, like I said, I was diagnosed in 2009. Before that, they were already grabbed the bull by the horns and were leading the way in ALS here in Connecticut. I've watched them grow. I see what the clinic looks like now, and to now what they're doing for patients. Yeah. We need this, and it's important. Clinical care for patients it makes our life easier. It's not going to change the outcome, but it will make our life easier.
That is fantastic. And like you said, there's a very important story to tell. I'm going to try and continue. I'm going to see if we can get a Facebook Live video going in the next couple of minutes. But that's it for now. So please log on. Tim Lammers, Fox 61 on Facebook. We're going to talk more with Mr. Savo here. But for now, we're going to send it back to the studio, and we'll be back more to talk about Pro-Am Day at the Travelers Championship in about 10 minutes or so. So stay with us.
All right. Thanks so much.